Well, let me turn this camera around. See that's the front of the White House. I don't know if you could tell. See that white building back? And there's a big crowd there, and it looks like they're from Ethiopia. No idea what they're talking about, but that's what's cool about the country. Anybody can come and speak their mind, and that's another thing. What to me is that the government, is for all the people. We all could use it, but actually only the rich people use it. So we have to train more of the average citizen here to take advantage of the programs that are there. I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine, but they're there for you to take advantage of. And what I'm trying to do is teach people where they are and how to do it. Because there's no magic to it, because it's just a little different than you're used to finding. And here in the news today, I found new programs every day in the news. So this is for July 7th. So these are new programs that started July 7th. Okay, now they're going to change the regulations on student loans. And that means they're going to forgive them easier. They're going to make the rules different, so they're not going to charge you as much for the student loans. They're expanding the eligibility of loan forgiveness, so more people will get it forgiven. And people who, they're going to make it easier to get it forgiven too. They're going to change the rules so you don't need all the paperwork and stuff like that. And there's more generous standards for borrowers seeking relief and fraud. So that means if you think your school ripped you off and they promised you probably get a high salary, and you didn't, you could not have to pay your student loan back. So they're making all those kinds of things easier. Now, how do you find out about this, okay? So actually, there's studentaid.gov. That's where to go, studentaid.gov. Now, these are revisions that are in the works. So they're not now, but they will be in the next months or so. So even if it takes a year, you're going to be paying student loans for the rest of your life. So you want to know about these things and keep up on it so you get first in line and take advantage of it. Now, here's an 800 number to call if you're not sure what these things are about, or about your own student loan, or anything to do. The studentaid.gov has an 800 number for their ombudsman. An ombudsman is somebody who works for the public, not for the Department of Education. And their number is 877-557-2575. 877-557-2575. And if you're worried about a student loan, so you'll go to Google or something like that, and the people you're going to find there are people who are looking for you because they're going to make money off of you. See, you don't have to spend any money to get anything reduced on student loans, to take advantage of any of these programs, but people will make you believe that because they know how to advertise better than I do. And that's right. So you got to get the answer from the horse's mouth first. And that's from the ombudsman at studentaid.gov, okay? Studentaid.gov. And the 800 number again is 877-557-2575. Okay, now another thing in the paper today, we just have the labor report. Okay, so the number of people that are looking for jobs and things like that. Okay, now employers became slightly less desperate for workers, so they're desperate for workers. Actually, right now, in our country, we have 2 jobs that are open and available for every person looking for a job, okay? The number of jobs that people are looking to fill are twice as many as the people looking for jobs. And that's been true for a couple months. Okay, what is the government doing with that? Well, the Department of Labor is pouring dozens of billions of dollars into this. The labor shortage is absolutely top of the mind of every industry I talk to, says this consultant. And the payroll and shift management software company, which monitors money, every single one of them is struggling to hire. Every company he talks with is struggling to hire. So far, I haven't seen job openings come down. A lot of these jobs have been open for a long time. You hear that? The industry is having trouble filling their jobs. The government is having trouble knowing about the government programs that help you fill those jobs, because some of these jobs will require training or education and things like this. And the government wants to spend money on you to get that training to fill those jobs. That's what they do. Yeah. But they're not going to advertise on late night TV or on Google and things like that. No, they'll send you for free to a course for 3 months, 6 months, or how long it takes for you to get that skill, even without a college degree, to get that job. See, this is the government's job. They see it as their job. It is, for companies who want to employ people and looking for people to hire, the government feels it's their job to help you find those, to help the business find them so we could grow economically. So that's why everywhere in the country you could go to something called careeronestop.org. careeronestop.org. Okay, that's everywhere you go to that website, put in your zip code, and you find your local Career One Stop Center. Okay, this is a brand new stuff. I mean, new programs this is all of the stimulus packages and everything that's just starting to get down to the local level and spend money on people so they get trained to get jobs that pay decent wages and things like that. So all that is there, but it takes work on your part. See, all the things that are free in life are not coming to you. The things that come to you and spend money on advertising, like me, are people that want to get money from you. The people who want to give you money don't have advertising money, so you have to find them. And that's why it's nonprofits and government organizations. They're the people that are giving away things for free. So that's why if you don't know, you're starting out on something new, just don't even bother if anything's a .com, because eventually they have to get money from you. You want to go to only people who are .org or .gov. They're the people who want to give money to you, but they don't have marketing money to find you. So you have to do that. So that's why there's news today that there are still millions and millions and millions of jobs that they can't fill because people aren't applying. So you got to get the skills to apply for these jobs, and you can get them for free. But it's going to take some work on your part. I want a job, and what do you got? No, you may have to make a half a dozen calls to find the right person and things like that. So you got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and start chasing that stuff, because it's not going to chase you. So you got to do the work and involved to find this. So now you have, in today's news was money to get rid of your student debt or get it lowered. 2, money to train for a better job. They're dying for people to train. They're dying. Companies are dying to hire new people. They can't find them. And 3, here's the third one, money to start a business. And at first you think this is bad. The amount of money that people are raising for venture capital has dropped like 23% this year so far. So they're having for startup money for starting. The drop is funding is waning. Is a warning for startups. Okay, so they're slowly not investing. These are this is fat cap money. So if you have to fat cap money for a startup, that's less this year. Now that sometimes is an opportunity. Somebody reads a headline, they're less money, so I'm not going to try. So that means there is an opportunity because less people are trying, and you could be, bigger in a smaller pond and get it. But what occurs to me is people will learn how to start money without money. Start a business without money. You don't need money to start a business. You need a customer, and we're all trained to, by schools, by media, by everybody, about you need all this money to start a business. For some businesses, that's certainly true. But for particularly an individual want to start a business, man, you don't need any money at all. Really, the first 2 businesses I started, I got money and got all this stuff, and they both failed. The last 3 businesses I started, I did without money. You don't have to have money. And you could get it all for free. Because there's other ways. You think you need a lot of money, and you probably don't. There's ways to do it all without money. If you're a member of Let's Go Help, I'll send you a report on I call How to Retire in 3 Years. But it's really how to start a business with no money and live on it forever. And if you're not a member, go here. Go to SBA.gov. SBA.gov. And what you're looking for there is uh, local help. So you're looking for community navigators. So if you go to sba.gov and in the search put community navigators and then find the community navigators where you live. Okay. Community navigators is that's what we are. We're a navigator. We show you where government programs are. We don't give out the money, but we show you where they are. Community navigators at the SBA are that way. They don't give money. Some of them do, but most of them don't. But they tell you where it is. They tell you what you need. They prepare you. They give you free legal help. They give you free consulting help. They give you free technology help. They help you sell overseas. They help you find customers. They help you do a publicity campaign. You need legal help. You have debt problems or whatever. All these kinds of things that you run into when you start a business, they're helping you for free. Because if you don't use them, you're going to go to Google and search, and you're going to find expensive accountants and lawyers and all these people. They're going to charge you hundreds or thousands of dollars that you could get for free. And most importantly about these people is that they help you think through your idea. Now the best thing, what you have to remember, and I'll say that one more time just for emphasis, you have to remember this. When you're looking for a government grant for your business, never say you're looking for a grant. You hear that? Don't say you're looking for a grant when you're looking for a grant. Why? Because the people who really can help you may not have grants, and you're not really, and there's so many ways to start your business without grants, and you have to figure all that out first. So if you're just going to go and talk to people and just say, I want a grant, you're limiting your options tremendously, because the people who really can help you don't even have grants, so they say goodbye and all that. And 80% of the free money the government gives out is not even called grants, so you miss all that. So your objective is to start a business, and that's what's important. So what you want to call these navigators and say, I need help starting a business. Don't tell me you need a grant, don't tell them what you need, because you think you need this based on what you know. You don't know much. None of us do if we're trying something new. We just make assumptions, which really turn out to be wrong. And you only see that if you start digging into it more. And so that's why don't ask for a grant, ask for help. Call as many of these people as you can. So what? Half of them will say no or whatever. It doesn't matter. You need 2 or 3 that you can call, make an appointment, talk to them about your idea. Hey, I'm trying to do this, and this is what I'm looking at. What do you think? That's all. Excuse me. And that's all you do. It's very simple. Don't worry about you don't know what you're talking about. That's okay. That's why they're in business, because you don't know that stuff. If you knew what you're talking about, their job would be out. So they expect that. But don't pretend you know what you're talking about. That's worse, because then they can't help you. If you're pretending you know everything. See that guy? The trumpeter back there? The sweet music, eh? So that's how to use these people, and they're more important than finding a grant because you don't know it's the right one, or it's too complicated. So if you're looking for a grant, don't start telling people you're looking for a grant. Say what the object is. I got to get a house. I want to start a business. I got to go to school. Because there's too many ways. I mean, that's your objective, right? That's the end. You're thinking that you need a grant to do that. And the real answer to that is maybe, maybe not. So that's why you just cut off your nose to spite your face. Is that there's something like that. And that's what people get trapped in, because it's going to be hard and you're not doing, I'm not going to do it. And you don't want to do that. You got to keep in the game. And you got to keep in the game by exploring more opportunities. And there's 100 ways to start it. Everybody I know, at least, that I've followed over the years, that started businesses, they all did it from nothing. And they grew into $1 billion, billion businesses. There's ways to do that. Sure, there's other ones, that they raise millions of dollars and do it. But, there's other ways to do it. So if you're going to just, say that's the only way, that's wrong. And that is a way. And if you have money or those contacts, that system, fine. If you don't, man, that's a hard bridge to climb. And there's just too many other ways to do it. So always think of your ultimate objective is to have a business. Your ultimate objective is not to get a grant. That may be or may not be. So if you're putting that as the ultimate objective, then you're cutting off so many opportunities. And like I said, I thought that too. After I got my MBA and everything, I was doing all this stuff they taught me in MBA school. I turned, that's nonsense. I went broke 2 times following those rules. No. And I didn't have fun. That's the other thing. Kissing everybody's ass to try to get money or whatever. No, there's so many ways to do it. Yeah. And that's why if you remember, let me send you that report on how to start a business with 0 income, 0 money, and get money by the end of the week. That is now more true now than ever in the history of the United States. Well, maybe when we were, before the Industrial Revolution, that's how we did. We were all craftsmen, tradesmen, and push carts and all that. That's commerce. That's business. Now everybody thinks they need to be have a big, 14-story building in their name or whatever. What is the best way to get a house the fastest? With a gun. That's bad. But it all depends where you live. If you're looking for a house, if you want to buy a house, there's 3 or 4 places you got to check first. And these are nonprofit organizations. One is called HUD.gov, HUD.gov, and you look for counselors. The next one is neighborworks.org, neighborworks.org, and you find local offices of them and you make an appointment and talk to them. These are all nonprofits that help people get houses. And the third one is your state housing finance agency. Your state housing finance agency. Every state has one in their state capital. And you just call them up and say, hey, what kind of program? How can I get help with a house? Now, they're the ones. You don't call a real estate agent. You don't look at the want ads and things like that, because the programs that are there to give you money to do it aren't advertised there. And everything that's advertised are people trying to get money from you. And the government grants that they give out for this do not give commissions. So the agents don't get any money for this, So they want you to go in debt bigger so then they get more money from that, okay? So that's the story today, folks. It's all the grants that are in, not all of them, of course, but, the 3 major areas of new grants that are out there, and this is happening every day, and that's why the government should be doing what I'm doing, but I've been doing this for 40 or 50 years now, and thinking that they'd get around to doing it, and they never do. So it gives me something to do, and I think it's important. And that's the most important thing, too, is that you feel you're doing something in life that you feel is important. So you've got that energy and that spirit to give more to other people and to make other people's lives fun and happy. And yours, because the best thing in life is giving. And that's what makes us happy and fun. So get out there and give your ass off. Well, that's called a certain name for that kind of business, isn't it?